All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We will just about to go ahead and get started. As an introduction, my name is Sarah Ahmed. I am the Director of Career Communities Alumni Career Advancement here in the Career Education Office. And I have my colleague here as well who will introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Christy Liu. I'm a class of '08 Wellesley alum. I work with technology and assessment in the office.
So today we're hoping to give you a little bit of an overview of the Wellesley Hive platform, walk you through just kind of how to join the platform, give you some ideas around the kind of communication that goes back and forth between members. And then after that, I will give a little bit of an overview about the services that we provide for alums in our office. And of course, welcome to any questions that you have throughout. If you'd like to just use the chat function, which should be on the bottom bar, feel free. You can ask questions throughout the presentation or at the end, whatever works for you. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So as many of you may know, the Wellesley Hive was launched in May of 2017. It's a collaboration between the Career Education Office and the Wellesley College Alumni Association. And it really is a platform designed to connect Wellesley students, alums, faculty, and staff. And right about, we're just about a little over 2 years into launching the platform. We've seen it as a supplemental tool that is really designed to kind of activate the Wellesley network. We currently have over 5,500 members in the platform, and about 4,200 or so are our alums. And we've seen, continued activity really from the one-to-one connections perspective, but there are a number of different services and opportunities to connect using the platform. So as a next step, what we'll have Christy kind of walk us through that a bit. And again, as you have questions, feel free to use the chat function, and we'll be happy to answer them. So Christy, can you want to go ahead and get us started?
Mm-hmm. So I hope majority of you either had seen the Hive or you're interested in Hive. That's why you're listening with us in this webinar. I'm currently on the Hive registering page. So if you have not registered, this is a page you will go to at hivewellesley.edu, and you can hit join the Wellesley Hive. You should be able to join via any of these methods, but regardless of which method you use, you do need to verify who you are at the end through Wellesley information, which is your Wellesley email and password. And we can, hold on.
So another thing Christy will now show you is she's just switching gears to a different page to show you how to reset your password. That's something that naturally can be an issue when logging into the platform if you potentially have not used your Wellesley login more recently. So she's just loading up that page right now so you can see her screen. Yeah.
If you do have issues with either figuring out what your Wellesley email is, it is just your Wellesley email, not your Wellesley alum email. So anything with alum.wellesley.edu will not work, but you do have a permanent Wellesley email, which will end with wellesley.edu. That's been issued from Wellesley College. You should be able to find out what that is used for, and that is used for a lot of the online security confirmation of your Wellesley account. So you should be able to, if you know that email, you should be able to reset your password right here. And this, as you can see, if you give your last name, date of birth, class year, email, address, they should be able to reset your password for you. And very importantly here, if you do not know that information, or this is not working out for you, for example, maybe your email on file is no longer in use, or you don't remember what's the last email you used in, always make sure you can call the help desk, and there's someone who will be able to verify your information and reset all this for you through different information, and then make sure it works for you. Great. So once you register and actually log into the Hive, you will see this is our opening, and there's a lot of things you can do in here. The major function that we use is search for mentors or look for mentors, can be searched in Search the Hive.
And just a small point there, as you're searching, certainly you can be searching for mentors, but it's really focused around connections. So you can search for students, faculty, staff, a fellow alum that are potentially mentors or potentially just folks that you'd like to connect with. So this allows you to really sort of get fairly broad in your search, but then you can also have filters to narrow down as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As Sarah said, you can choose which type of user type you're searching. If you're looking for someone you can mentor, or a student will come up, but also fellow alumna can be a choice. And then faculty and staff, those who are registered in here, you can connect with them as well. So you can restrict your search that way. So you can also search by industry, what industry are you interested in, what industry different people are interested in. It comes here. One of this is you can search by location. So since you're of a specific geographical location, you can search for people who list their home address as maybe in Washington State, Seattle area, or other areas in particular. To be more specific, there are other filters here. You can search by a lot of interesting things. You can search by major, what people are willing to help with. You can search by people, which company they worked in, their class year. So you can search for people in your own class years, if their first gen status, if they received any fellowships or internships, what are they interested in, any kind of personal beliefs. You can also search by alumni clubs or groups. So I can search, for example, Washington. So if I say Washington State Wellesley Club, sorry, this is restricting my view a little. And that should be able to filter your information. Yeah, it's blocking. That's why I can't see it. Hold on, just a minute.
But yeah, all those filters allow you to really have as narrow down a search as you're looking for, or of course you can always keep it quite broad. And as you're thinking about if you don't have a profile yet, or if you have a very limited profile, one thing to note is that certainly the platform picks up on the words and the sort of identification and the selections within your profile. So having a more robust and filled out profile will help others find you more easily as well.
I do apologize. You should be able to select your filter and then hit the apply button. But in my case, on my presentation, my presentation for Zoom hides that button, so I can't click on it.
So there is a bot on the right-hand side. There's an apply button at the bottom, similar to what you're seeing for location. When you go to the filter section, you're seeing that as well.
So I can definitely show you a quick search by location, and these are people who indicated their home city is Seattle. Great. So once you find someone, let's see, let me clear my location search, and I can demonstrate how you can search for someone and then connect with them. I'm going for a search for Sarah, who is also in here. You can search directly by name. Oh, I already have my location. There we go. There, and we'll see Sarah Med is here. So it's very easy to make a connection. You find the particular interest alum you're interested in, or staff and faculty. You can click on them. And you will see different, more clear information about this person, and and you will see, information they put in here, that background, any kind of experiences, their affiliation, and other information. And my apologies, you will not sometimes see all of this because I have admin access. There's different information out here. You will definitely see the same without the view admin only profile. You will see the let's connect. So it's very easy to clear and hit let's connect. And you have a choice of exploring long-term mentorship or flash mentorship.
And just to point out, a flash mentorship, for those that may not be familiar, is really designed to be kind of a one-time conversation. And this is something that we've gotten feedback from alums that has been really helpful, given time constraints and obligations and overall life. It can be very hard to feel that you have necessarily the ability to commit to a long-term mentorship or really connection with a fellow alum or even student for that matter. So flash mentorship really focuses on having that one time conversation and sort of seeing where it goes, and of course eventually can turn into a long-term mentorship, or if the need really is just for that one conversation, that's oftentimes it oftentimes is a great option for those that are just looking to make that quick connection.
So if I choose a flash mentorship, it will say, what are the self-help topics that you're interested in. You can definitely select one thing or the other, and you can select, for example, career change, and then make sure, and then you will go to next. And then you can say what your preferred method of communication is. You can do an online video call through the Hive, or you can just do a phone call and arrange to do a video call that way, or you can do an in-person meeting if you're close to each other. So I'm going to try to do an in-person meeting, and you can propose some time that work with people. September 2nd, I'm going to go with what they suggested in 30 minutes. And you can also add other proposed times to make it work. And then you can propose and go to next. So Sarah at this time will receive the information, and you can confirm and then show different and continue to make sure she receives the request. From her point of view, she will see an invitation from you, including the information and the message that you sent to her.
And this will come in via email.
Yes. And you can click into the Hive and you can follow the rest through it. And so once you click into the Hive, it will show up in one of these, in the email format. It will show the message. You will see the different information. You can click on view and schedule to go through the process. And then they will show the different information that's proposed. You can also suggest a new time if those time doesn't work for you. And you can decide on whether or not to update the meeting details. And once you confirm, they will make sure that your information is correct and also send you a meeting. And you will see that your information is updated in the system. And then you can always view and reschedule the information. And the email will be sent to you with the meeting information, so you can add it directly to your calendar in whichever calendar you prefer and make sure it works. And to find this information, you can always go back to the little email signal in here, and this keeps track of all the contacts you have had. So for example, we can look at Sarah. We'll see all the contacts we have had with her, and I had my email to her, her response, and the schedule information. And then, and they'll also show quick reminders. So if you request it for a system in video call, it will also show up the link in here, and that will help with everyone. So this is talking if you would like to meet with someone. As a mentor yourself, how do you control when people can request meetings? How do you request them? Do I want to be a mentor? Do I want to offer Flash-only mentors or mentees? And what time do I want to make available for people? You can set that information in my preferences. So you can always say, so over here, you can always say your availability. So if you only would like to be contacted or Meepo, so if you're willing to be a Flash mentor, you can switch it on. We understand that not everyone has opening to have unlimited mentorships with different people. So you can set how many meetings you're open with for each month. So if you say 1 or 2, and once that end hit, the student will be set that the mentor, when someone requests a meeting with you, system will let them know that the person's limit has been met and you can want them to wait or send them an email to see what's going on. But they do control and not make sure they don't flash you with endless emails. And are you willing to be a long-term mentor? So you can say yes or no as your preference. And if you are joined to different groups, which we can cover quickly, you can also showcase that if you're willing to be a mentor for that specific group. So if you are maybe in a mentor group that covers law and other information, and you say, instead of mentoring everyone, I would like to mentor someone whose particular interests associated with me and only in that group, this can work as well. So you can also make sure all your information's here and notifications. If you're not as interested in receiving different information, you can definitely check or uncheck information. If it's newsletter you are not like, you can uncheck that. You can always unsubscribe from all emails unless someone reach out directly for you. So this is very accessible, and then feel free to edit it to make sure that you know where you're going. And so that will be responsible for this. So the other thing we have, other quick tour we can have go through Hive a little bit. For example, in groups, you can see what kind of group are available. You can join different things. There are private groups, which are the locked ones, and then there are open groups, which are unlocked. So private groups, you can always request to join if they fit your interests, and the open groups, you can just join and make sure you explore. There are opportunities in here that are specifically posted for alums, often by other alums, posting directly to Wellesley alums, and feel free to explore. We do have resources in here. We're working on always adding more resources. So if you do have information, some of this right now is targeted towards student, and then there are, of course, mentor resources. For example, how to support mentees and other information, how to find help a mentee opening up. You know, we are definitely open for advices. If you see different resources that you would like to see or other things that you feel like needed, definitely feel free to email hive@wellesley.edu, and we'll definitely try to make sure the system is as user-friendly as possible. And then there's other agreements and platforms if you would like to. If you did not read through your Hive user agreement when you sign up, as a lot of people don't because it's generally very long, they're here for you, so you can take a look if you ever have to look things up. And we have a quick FAQ here. We also have a discussion board which have different questions, and people do being active in there. We would like this to get more active and make sure that people can have ongoing conversations on different things.
And something to note as well on the general job discussion, you can certainly on the right-hand side search for different topics if there's something, you know, it very much operates like a feed. So whatever kind of happens most recently is top of the page. But in addition to that, any member is also able to post anonymously. So if there's ever a subject or a question that you may not want to have sort of fully disclose your information, that's absolutely an option as well.
And then again, we also have an event category that are in particular focused towards alumni, different events that's in alums, for example, these webinars or other information that will be useful to alumni. Also, some of these are regional events specific to alums only, so definitely feel free to check it out.
And we can also, you know, if there's ever an event from that you're hoping to promote to other alums, you can always add those into the Hive as well. So it's a bit of both. It's a bit of sort of seeing what is available there, but then also if you're exploring, creating a group, if you're exploring, or if you're hosting an event and you want to get the word out, we have a number of alums that reach out to us and want to find a space to be able to share job opportunities for fellow alums. So that the opportunities section also allows just sort of this kind of back and forth of if you do have stuff that you would like to be offering to alums, there is the ability here to kind of promote events, opportunities, things of that nature.
And definitely for opportunities, if you have a great opportunity you would like to share, you can post it in here directly with fellow alums. You can also reach out to us for us to work with you, but there is opportunity to share that in the system directly with people who are. So that's a
Great.
quick overview of the Hive. Oh, that's
okay. Should we look at some? We'll take a quick peek to see if we have any questions that have come in. How do you submit those jobs? So actually, if you go to opportunities, and Christy will actually take us through that really quick, and you can go straight to share opportunity. And after you click the share opportunity, you're able to select if you are I believe if you are referring it or if you are the hiring manager. So certainly, for many folks, if they are not the hiring manager, they go with refer a role, and then you can sort of, you can enter in the information necessary. And it's a fairly quick process. So, once you go to refer, it's really kind of outlining the job description, the title, so on and so forth, how you do need a ways to apply. So that's just something that if there is a reference, we always encourage also sharing, a URL or a space to provide that information.
So as we have said, Sarah has just described, you can post it in here directly if you would like. But if you would like for us to post it for you, you can also send it to careereducation@wellesley.edu.
Yeah. And it sort of depends on the type of role that you're referring to. We have found that if you, are connected to the opportunity in some way or are happy to have folks reach out to you if they're interested, oftentimes directly posting can be really helpful, but certainly we're happy to help however we can.
And you can definitely, if you set specific search alerts, you can, when a job that comes and fits your category, it can send an email to you to alert you that job is available.
And one of the questions that also came up was of the alums, how many are over the age of 40 or approximately mid-career. So just to clarify, there are 4,245 alums in the system, and just as an estimate, we have 948 between the years that have graduated from 1985 to 2000. So about 17% of our current members would fit in that. And that's, of course, a ballpark estimate in terms of, how folks may personally choose to identify in terms if they feel they are mid-career. But we certainly have folks that are more senior as well in the system and more junior as well. And is there any other, we're just going to take a quick peek to see if there's any other questions that have come in. Okay. Okay, great. So I don't think we have any other questions, but of course, if anything comes up, know that you can chat us right now, but then also happy to answer any additional questions offline at a different time. We're always happy to help. I did want to take a couple minutes just to talk a little bit about services we provide as the Alumni Career Education team here. Alumni Career Advancement team here within the Career Education Office. So we do offer our alums advising, both from a generalist perspective. So we have our 2 part-time alumni career advisors who are career coaches. They are professionals in giving not only career coaching and guidance, but they focus on a variety of areas at any stage in an alum's career. And you can make appointments directly with those advisors. So if you are re-entering the workforce, thinking of an encore career, making a career pivot, or honestly just want to touch base with someone about career advice, that's an option to you. Those appointments are unlimited and free of charge as well. We also have our career community advisors who serve alums in addition to the generalist advisors. The career community advisors are focused on specific industries. So they do have dedicated industry areas with expertise in those spaces. So if you are looking to change from one industry to another, you could certainly connect with one of our career community advisors, or if you have a new industry that you're exploring, again, alums are able to meet with both groups, so it's not limited and it's not capped. So that is an offering that we provide, and signups for those appointments are done through the handshake system. So if you have any questions about that, you can absolutely email careereducation@wellesley.edu, and we can get you set up. The login that you use for the Wellesley Hive will be the same that you would use for Handshake, but that is an offering we provide. In addition to that, last fall, we launched our webinar program. So these are webinars that we are hosting, some internally, some with the great generosity of alums who are quite accomplished in their spaces. And what we do is that we actually record these alums or these webinars, excuse me, and we have them accessible for viewing on our website. So last year we hosted 7. We have another. We're planning for the year ahead, and we're mapping out what we're hosting this upcoming fall. To give you a sense of some of the topics that we've covered so far, we've had an alum lead a webinar who is a career transition consultant on reimagining retirement. We've had one on a journey to the corporate boardroom with esteemed alums. We've had one from our team, our advisors, leading negotiating with confidence, re-entry into the workforce. This upcoming September, in a few more weeks, we'll be hosting one on early careers. And we have another, another alum this upcoming fall as well who's going to be partnering with us on another webinar. So this is something that, again, we launched just about a year ago, and we're really excited about. We've been very, lucky and grateful to receive really great enthusiasm from the alums to have this option, and it is always recorded. So if it doesn't work with your time, with your schedule, it's always accessible online as well. So those are the kind of 2 pieces that I really wanted to point out. Additionally, I wanted to mention, from a club perspective, if there's anything that we can do or help as the members are thinking through, connecting, and from a careers perspective, we're always open to having conversations and kind of connecting further. And so that's sort of gives you an overview of our services here in career education. I'm going to take a quick look again at the chat to see if there's any outstanding questions. But we're very grateful for your time and hope this has been helpful. And again, if you do have questions and it comes to you later, please do not hesitate to reach out and to email careereducation at wellesley.edu. So just taking a quick look. And it looks like a couple questions around links to Handshake. So Christy is actually sending those through right now on the chat. So as I mentioned, you'll use your login that you would use for the Wellesley Hive to make those appointments. And certainly, if you have trouble making those appointments, feel free to reach out to our office. We're happy to help, and ensure that there's, flexibility in terms of, getting you all situated and connected. In addition to that, I would say, for the resources on the career education website, Christy is actually just about to send that out to everyone as well. And something you can do is you can actually search for the webinars as well on our website. They'll come up. But if you have any trouble finding that information, please do let us know. There's an interesting question here about the Hive and sort of what do we think the best kept secret is, and how would we want to see more alums use it. I think there's a couple pieces here. I think that, when the Hive originally started, it's really been, it really is designed as a tool to connect the Wellesley community. And what's really great about it is that it's a closed community. So it really is to sort of further activate the network. But we found that the real, one of the real value propositions is that sort of one-to-one connection. We've seen since the launch in 2017, over 12,000 direct messages that have been sent. We've heard a number of stories where students and alums and others have had just really meaningful conversations, and they've had enough connection to feel like I have a space where I can go, I have a space where I can connect. And it also really allows that sort of direct connection. Everyone that's in the platform does create a profile and does create really transparent availability about what they can commit to and cannot. So there's also this level of knowing that the people that are in the platform are engaged and are exciting to connect. Um, and I think that piece has sort of that one-to-one, the being able to connect and tap into the network in a really streamlined way is important. I think from an alum perspective, what we love to do is we're always looking to increase, of course, the activity in the platform. We've been happy that it continues to increase, but we're always looking for more alums to be part of it. So part of what we do is we continue to not only market the platform, but continue to think of ways where alums would find it even more compelling to be a part of that, to be a part of the community via the platform. So I would say part of it is, just really engaging with the platform, but then also the more we can increase not only how meaningful and quality engagements that are happening, but also the numbers is always helpful because, the more people that are in the platform, the more helpful it will be to others. Yes. So quick clarifying question. Handshake is just for booking appointments with Career Education. So there is a job board on there, but I want to be, very transparent in that it tends to be heavily geared towards students. So while there will be certain, opportunities that may apply to alums, and you're absolutely welcome to use it for that as well. A Handshake is kind of a recruiting platform where employers are involved. They are members of the platform, and that's typically how they will go about to reach students. And so you use Handshake just for the advising appointments, and the Hive is for the connecting the community.
Networking. And of course, on the website, you can actually find the link to both of these programs. So maybe the website is the best place to note down, and then you can just go directly from there and be directed to the right places.
And we also, on the website, we also have additional sort of career advancement resources that our team creates for alums as well. So we have some certainly that are industry specific, but then we also have more generalized resources for the different topics that I mentioned in terms of transitioning in your career, re-entry, those pieces. And if you ever feel that there's a resource that you would really like to see that you're missing, please also don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always looking to kind of expand and build out that library.
So here we see a quick overview of the website. This is alumni link site I shared earlier, and then there's different resources for different things. But here you also, definitely hear us how we're interested in supporting our alums, make sure they achieve all their information, and you get to see. Make sure we have Sarah right here, and then the alumni career advancement team. And Shelly is here as well. You can definitely make an appointment. This takes you to Handshake. And then you're also introduced to career community advisors that have, different advisor that touch different industry, which you might also want to be in touch with on different things. Again, Handshake, different technology platform, talks a little bit about Handshake as well as the Hive. And again, this is the link to reset your Wellesley login. So as I said, this webpage is very handy to make sure all the information is scrolling down. So, and it also gives quick information on the Hive, on the global mentorship and the outreach we have, talks about fellowship information specific for alumni. And you can definitely look at, we have a specific page for alumni fellowship opportunity as well. And as we mentioned earlier, all the webinars that's available. So we can see, and we hope to grow this library to something much bigger. And we're hoping for great topics that's inputted from different people, and definitely make this accessible and something we can people can come back to.
Absolutely. Great. So any other questions? We can take a quick peek. I'm not seeing any. Do you see any more? Okay. Okay, great. All right. Well, Thank you all so much for taking the time to join us for this walkthrough and demonstration. And as we mentioned, please do not hesitate to reach out. And even if it's not specifically about the platform, as an alum, if there's something you're hoping to see, we're always excited to connect with alums and just see how we can continue to support you all. Again, questions you can always, as you saw, it's very easy to contact us via the website. But in addition to that, careereducation@wellesley.edu for certain questions. But thank you again. And we are recording this conversation, so we will share it out with Molly, and it will be available to view at another time as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. This is Molly. We really appreciate it. This is so helpful to have an overview, and we look forward to sharing it with even more people. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.